Well, I started thinking about these matters really as I gradually moved away from socialism and started to regard what's so ill-advisedly called capitalism with favor, with thinking, this is a good thing, and good for poor people. I don't care about the rich one way or the other, but I do care about poor people. That's why I got into economics in the first place. But by the 1990s, I was increasingly impatient with my friends on the left and some on the right who said that, well, this capitalism, these business people, they're vulgar. And, I'm a professor or something, I'm better than they are. And I didn't like that, so I wrote a essay for a magazine called The American Scholar called The Bourgeois Virtues, which was just a brief attempt to think this way. Ask what was favorable about capitalism, so-called. And there's a version of this in the 1700s called doux commerce in French, sweet commerce, and that was my theme. And so then by 2005, I wrote the first of these volumes, and it was a defense of the bourgeoisie, the middle class. And then I realized that as an economic historian, which is my scientific field, I had stumbled on an explanation for the great enrichment that came over the West and now the world since 1800. And I saw that it had to do, I finally saw, it took me, I didn't know this before I started, I finally understood that it was the attitude of other people in the society towards the middle class, towards the inventors, towards the Benjamin Franklin types that changed. Anciently, until the 18th century, people were hostile to the business class. The only way to honor was either in the church or in the battlefield or the court, either as a clergyman or as an aristocrat. Whereas in the 18th century, in England and its offshoots, starting actually the century before in Holland, business people became respectable in the eyes of the rest of the society. And that was amazing. Combine that with democracy, the idea that all people are created equal, and you get a really explosive combination where people respect inventors and everyone's an inventor.